Alright, hello everyone. It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Coming to you from the Delmarva Peninsula. I should be enjoying my time away from New York, but it seems my New York problems are coming to get to me. Now, obviously, we know how significant today is September 11th. What happened at the Twin Towers. I don't have to get into that. The main thing that we got to talk about is, the honest reaction. Long Island Railroad passenger reacts to possible strike. That's just the title of the video that I'm going to be getting into because, honestly, I am disheartened with a lot of the unions. I know I'm being completely honest here. But these unions that are asking for more than what they can bargain for right now. The fact that they're asking for more pay than the average blue-collar worker gets. What are they trying to do? Become millionaires? It's disgusting that their salaries are being met with all the previous Biden inflation that we're still dealing with now. Yes, we're still dealing with it. And then on the fact that the Trump tariffs, that the salaries, you're getting a decent salary. And you're threatening to shut down the entire Long Island Railroad network. This is a disgrace. And I'm very disappointed in the SMART union. I'm very disappointed with Anthony Simon. For once, I'm actually starting to agree with the head of the Long Island Railroad. This greed is going to shut down the LIRR next week. It is disgraceful that this is going to be allowed to happen. And all because of simple word again. It is greed. Money. Who wants to make the most money? Which one can bargain for what they can amount for? It's going to be disgraceful that almost 300,000 daily riders. Now remember, I'm a part-time rider. All right, I don't use the Long Island Railroad every day. I use it on occasion. Everybody knows this about me when I'm in New York. Especially because we all know how the traffic, congestion pricing. I told y'all congestion pricing was a scam. I tried warning you. Look how bad the traffic is in Manhattan. I heard from Sid Rosenberg this morning on WABC when he was busy, when he had time, because you know how radio hosts. WABC studios are on 3rd Avenue. And Sid this morning was looking out the window and he was like, Andy, I mean, you're right about congestion pricing. It's such a scam. They're charging $9 for people to enter the city past 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's looking out the window and he's like, wasn't it supposed to reduce the traffic? Yeah, it's not reducing the traffic. 3rd Avenue is still a traffic mess. And now you got to add on the UN General Assembly. All right, the UN General Assembly is happening in Midtown. My cousin who lives on the east side, she's going crazy as it is. She's hearing all the sirens going around 1st Avenue where she lives. She can't stand it, and I can't blame her. But now you're going to add on this Long Island Railroad strike that's supposed to begin when the first full week of gridlock alert days begin for the season. Because remember, the first gridlock alert day is on the 22nd, which is Monday. And you got to remember, Trump's supposed to be speaking at the UN. The president is there on the 23rd. So add on the fact that this has to be the worst possible timing when we have the first gridlock alert week. Well, actually, no. Technically, it should be this upcoming week because in Manhattan, Dua Lipa's performing. All right, so she's performing this upcoming week. Eric Clapton's supposed to be doing a show on the 19th. And I'm thinking long term. I mean, I don't want to speculate that this could go into a month, but Madison Square Garden has a lot of events planned. I mean, the Rangers are going to be there soon in a matter of weeks. Before you know it, the Knicks will be there. Before you know it, Sabrina Carpenter will have her residency the last week of Halloween. She has a full week at the Garden scheduled then, right? And then when I look at what else could be impacted, I mean, sure, I'm glad they're trying their best to get people to the Belmore Street Festival, but they're going to have to go all the way to Aqueduct Racetrack on the A-line? The whole point of having Belmore, if anybody's coming from the city, is so that way they can take the train from Penn or Grand Central and have a direct ride to the Belmore Festival, which is supposed to begin on the day of the strike, a week from today, the 18th. So Belmore is supposed to have their festival. Alright? And on that fact, okay, then we know New Hyde Park, they have a festival coming up on the 20th. Right? So you know how busy I think the New Hyde Park or the Floral Park station is. 21st, that's an issue. Hillside Avenue area of Williston Park, East Williston, there's supposed to be a festival. So there'll be no Oyster Bay branch running, possibly that day, if people are going to want to come from the city. So Williston Park's going to lose tourism too. So the amount of tourism that these festivals rely on, well, guess what? They're not going to have people coming from the city because the Long Island Railroad's on strike. Alright? So, it gets even much worse. You got the Yankees and the Mets finishing up their final stretches, so that's going to be another inconvenience coming up if the Railroad's on strike. Then you're going to add on the fact that there's concerts going on in Forest Hills when this is happening. What's happening in Forest Hills? Chappell Roan's performing. That's a big deal at Forest Hills Stadium, so she's going to be there. Also, I want to mention WNBA playoffs, the New York Liberty. They're going to be at the Barclays Center. So you know how many people from Long Island are going to be impacted that they can't access the Atlantic branch and change to Jamaica? That's going to be an inconvenience. Okay? And this is the bigger pictures that go into it. Because the last weekend of New York Fashion Week is over. So let's just eliminate that. Because the Fashion Week ends on the 16th. So that's done with. So weird coincidence. Fashion Week is ending right 2 days before the strike's supposed to begin. So, end of the month, you got the Ryder Cup in Bethpage. PGA. From the 26th to the 28th. So that's a big deal. We're supposed to have people come out from the city. So we're going to lose tourism that way too. And then what's going to make it even worse is on the 28th, you have the Turn of the Towers 5K run. So how are people from Long Island supposed to get to that? Or even, compete in it? And then there's also another impact that a lot of people don't realize is that the Giants are going to host their home opener next Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs on the 21st. So the people that come from Long Island that go to Penn Station, they can't directly get to Penn Station and then change for the New Jersey Transit train that would take them to Secaucus and then go to the Meadowlands shuttle. So, 21st, there's a game at MetLife. 28th, there's a MetLife game. I know that game was against the Los Angeles Chargers. Here's the weird coincidence. The Jets are actually going to be, the Jets are going to be on the road while this is happening. I'm thinking at the schedule. So, yours truly, I want to mention to get into this discussion video, the fact that the 29th of this month, I'm supposed to be using the Auburndale station because I am supposed to be testifying in person at 2 Broadway regarding the supposed fare hikes. Isn't this a weird coincidence that this is all happening during a fare hike transition, possibly? And also, I want to mention, where is Bruce Blakeman? Where is Seth Kozlow? I am wondering, where are the candidates running for Nassau County Executive? They're missing in action right now. This is the Nassau County Executive election year. I am beyond baffled. The two candidates have not spoken about this strike. The incumbent county executive, nor the Democrat legislator from Merrick. They're not talking about the strike. I am just beyond shocked. I am just, why? Why is this happening? So my moral of the story is, 29th supposed to use Auburndale. Do you know what that means, folks? You know what that means? I'm going to have to use the 7 train. I have no choice but to use the 7 train. How am I supposed to get to Bowling Green? If I take the Long Island Railroad, I have a schedule that works out from Grand Central, it's fine. If I come from Penn Station, that's fine too. I don't care if I go to Penn or Grand Central, because if I'm on the west side, at least I could take the 2-3 train to Wall Street. No problem. 7-minute walk to 2 Broadway. No problem for me. I can get it done. As long as I use my phone and put my GPS on. Because it's a you have to follow the directions. But I'll have my phone on me. So yeah, the MTA is telling me, if you want to go in person and the railroad's on strike in 2 weeks, guess what, Andy? In order to come to 2 Broadway, again, you're stuck taking the 7 train. Because there is absolutely no way in a hypothetical I am dealing with the Queens Boulevard line. You all know how bad the Queens Boulevard line is. Versus the 7, despite the craziness with the subway system, the 7 actually has the best on-time reliability in the whole network. All thanks to my efforts with the federal government 4 years ago. And we're still seeing the positivity of the 7 line having reliability. So, it's crazy. My commute's going to be longer from Queens to Lower Manhattan just to testify at the fare hike meeting. And I'm already disgusted that they're threatening to eliminate the 7-day to 30-day ride options with Omni coming up. So, I'm disgusted, folks. I'm just, I had to do this in front of the camera because I should not have to be making this video, but this is really gonna hurt Long Island's economy. This is especially with all the fall festivals happening, and I don't want to fast forward ahead, and I'm gonna Google it on my phone right now because I want to find out something interesting here for 1 minute. Pull it up. Yeah, here we go. So let's go into a hypothetical. If, here's something. Okay, this is minor, but there's a foreign journey show this Saturday in Memorial Park in Mineola. I'm just looking at that, but that's not going to attract tourists from the city. I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking, here we go. October 5th. Here we go. First Sunday in October. Mineola always has their first Sunday of October. They have their festival in Mineola. So, that's going to be a disaster. If we go almost a month without Long Island Railroad service. And then we don't know what the Yankees and the Mets will be doing. And then, bigger picture, October, if you really think about the bigger picture with hockey, and I just teased it again. How are people supposed to get to UBS Arena Elmont? And I also want to mention in October, before I wrap this whole thing up, Billie Eilish, at the end of next month, she's at UBS Arena. So, the worst ideal timing for a Long Island Railroad strike to be happening. Remember when New Jersey Transit was the whole strike and we were all worried, oh, how are we supposed to get to the concerts at MetLife Stadium? Well, we know the Shakira concert got impacted, but thankfully it took 3 days. So I don't know, guys. Just to wrap this up, I'm not thrilled with the plans that they've come up with. The fact that you're telling people in Belmore you're going to take them over to, you're taking them over to, right, to Aqueduct Racetrack. And then you're telling people in Ronkonkoma and Hicksville, oh, guess what? We'll give you a shuttle bus. So look, the shuttle buses, Belmore to Aqueduct, Ronkonkoma and Hicksville, shuttle bus will take you to Mets Willets Point on the 7th. Like, come on. And these are going to be limited shuttle buses. Limited shuttle buses. You know how infrequent they will be, and they'll get overcrowded. And then think about what these buses have to do. You all know, if you're the Belmore passengers, I'm just talking to the Belmore passengers here. So, you know how bad the Southern State Parkway is, right? You all know Sunrise Highway can be 21 questions. But then you get a deal with the Belt Parkway. You all know how bad the traffic is on the Belt Parkway. And then us Mid-Island folk and us North Shore folk, right? Because I'm in that category. Because where I live in Queens, I'm like smack dab in the middle of everything. We all know how bad the road work has been on the LIE and the Grand Central Parkway. You know how much traffic those people are going to have to sit through? The whole point of the LIRR is to avoid the traffic. So no train? Well, because of this pointless strike over fare raises that, fare raises that are on the horizon, and then out of the fact that these greedy unions want more money? Give me a break. Give me a break. Oh, and I also want to mention this before I wrap up the video. Nice Bus. Oh, do I got a problem with them. They are not cross-honoring Long Island Railroad tickets. And guess what? If you want to use Nice Bus, and if you're that desperate to get to a subway line, you're really going to have to pay for a Metro card, which is barely around anymore because they're transitioning to Omni. Right? They're all transitioning to Omni. Alright? So, you're not going to be able to find a Metro card. You're going to have to pay in coins for a Nice Bus. And then, what are you supposed to do? Just transfer with Omni? I mean, people have credit. Most people have credit cards. You do have the Omni cards now, but I mean, this whole strike is just going to be a disaster. So, I will be here trying to talk about it as much as I don't know, because my Delmarva schedule is iffy at the moment, but I'm done. I think 20 minutes is enough for me to react to this, because it's just, I mean, I am literally wondering. I mean, I have a friend of mine. He's going to be impacted by this because he actually rides the LIRR on a 5-day-a-week basis, or multiple days. And then I know another friend of mine, I don't know how she's going to see her girlfriend in Queens, because she takes the train to Woodside and then you know, goes to Sunnyside, right? So that's going to be an issue for her. And then her girlfriend, you know, how is she going to get out to Merrick? So there's that. It's going to be crazy how my friends are going to be impacted by this. My family, I mean, I have a relative that goes see my other relative out in Merrick. So I'm telling her, don't drive in. And also I want to mention the 23rd and the 30th. I have to go to New High Park. I don't know how bad the traffic will be on the Grand Central Parkway, 'cause I'm trying to avoid the LIE. But even with the Grand Central, it's like, I'm just like, why is this happening? So I'm done, guys. I'm done talking about this. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. And comment below. Let me know how you're feeling about this, because I want to hear from you guys. I mean, are you going to be impacted by this strike on the 18th? Because I think we should have a fair discussion in the comments about this. So, that's it. I'm done here. Let's all be patient. Maybe they'll negotiate in good faith and stop being greedy. Because it just should not be happening right now. Really shouldn't, but this is where things have gone. We saw how New Jersey Transit went. And again, that was a short-lived strike, so who knows? So, that's it. And we'll see what happens next couple of days. But I'm getting worried there is not going to be any LIRR service within the next couple of days. So that's it.